had a really good question in the QDB classroom, and the question was, is how many trades of the day do we get a week? Well, we try and aim to publish a trade of the day every day, but we kind of want to wrap up by Friday, ideally, because sometimes on Friday we can see the herd get paid, and we're using sentiment and we're trading off the herd mentality, and we're trying to exploit their positioning. And so we can use their sentiment to get trade ideas. So you come to our spreadsheet. So really, it's just a quick video in just to tell you that there's two aspects to the QuasiDB in that we get signals. So we're using the bubbles. Okay, this is our trade of the day. So let's say the pound. All right, let's just say, for example, the pound comes over here, makes it a buy. Let's say the dollar comes over here. It makes the USD a sell. So then you're looking for buy on pound, sell on USD. So you're looking for a cable long, so pound USD long. So that's one aspect to the QuasiDB service. Now, the important thing to note about this aspect is don't necessarily wait for me to say buy or sell, because you'll see that some will come 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 2:30, nearly 3 o'clock. And then that time, you know, I should be normally awake, you know, 7 o'clock in the morning, I should be awake. But I'm not going to be awake at 3 a.m. UK time. So don't necessarily wait for me to say enter, because you're going to miss out a lot of trade opportunities. So really, you're looking for about 7, 8, sometimes 10 signals a day using the bubble deviation. Okay. And sometimes we get a few, sometimes we get quite a lot. It all depends. And yeah, so like, for example, like we had the heads up on Kiwi USD. It did trigger 4 hours ago and it had pumped. So don't necessarily wait for me to say buy or sell. This will tell you buy or sell. So anything in this channel is always a sell. Okay, so CAD yen sell, for example. And when it says USD NZD sell, that's simply Kiwi USD buy. You just have to reverse it. It's saying sell USD versus New Zealand dollar. So you just simply have to revert it. Okay, so that's one aspect to it. So to answer the question, we get a lot of signals, and we try and have a trade of the day at least once a day, but we'll try and avoid Friday. And then secondly, the other aspect is the manual ideas, the manual trading ideas based on the stop loss clusters, and what we're looking for. Looks like my terminal's frozen, which is a bit annoying. Right, so let's just use the dollar Swiss, for example, and what we're looking for, we've got two conditions that need to be satisfied. It has to probe liquidity, and then we have to hit a technical resistance or support, and then we can trade off that. So let's say price was here, we'd look for a sell order, you know, below the monthly pivot. So we're going to come up, take stops, technical resistance, and then down. And we're trying to get a good R, which is a risk multiple. So let's say, for example, we've got a very tight stop of 5 pips, say, theoretically, then a 15 pip would be a free R, because that's 3 times what you're prepared to risk, which is quite achievable. If you've got a 5 pip stop, you know, again, a very good R is quite likely. So what we'd want to do is wait for the price to navigate and gravitate towards liquidity, stop these guys out, and then we're looking for a new candle below the monthly pivot, and then we're looking to sell. And this is on the Patreon videos every day. And it's not guaranteed that we'll have a trade set up using this, because we've got the two conditions that need to be satisfied. If we haven't got any trade set up, then they won't get published. Okay, so obviously, you know, that's the conditions, the two conditions that need to be satisfied. So we had a very good week. We had 165 pip profit using the combination of the bubbles and this SLC probe and reversal scenario. So going forward, we'll continue to do this, and it should warrant a lot of profit for us, because we're using logic, and that's the logic, is that price will gravitate towards liquidity, and then we'll see a reaction from those stops being hunted down, and that's it. So Just a quick one, really, just to say there's two sides to the signals: bubbles, which is your trade of the day, and then we've got trade setups that go into here. The medium-term trade ideas is SLCs and liquidity with probes, and then you've got your trade of the day based on the bubble deviation, and then we'll use supply and demand for those as well. So it's 165 pips. And just a caveat is that you could potentially have held CAD Gen over the weekend, but we like to be flat for the week ahead. And there's our entry, and our TP was 4R, but we made a little bit of profit. There's our entry, so we did end up positive on this particular currency pair. So just a quick one there about the two aspects to the trade signals that we can get on a daily basis. And don't forget, I'm moving home, so my schedule is going to be fairly erratic, but we'll still publish these every morning when I can.